any ideas about where he thought Madalina was or what may have happened with her?
He indicated several possibilities. He stated that she possibly would be with a friend. He stated that he thought that she was in her room during this time frame. He mentioned that he, I believe, watched shows, or I can't recall the exact verbiage, but about children that go missing or that were kidnapped. And he wondered if that was a possibility. And so several options.
Did he indicate at any point in time during this conversation that he had reported Madalina missing to the authorities at any point in time from November the 22nd to December the 15th?
No, he did not.
This discussion that you're speaking of, are you aware of whether or not it was recorded in any fashion?
It was recorded on my body-worn camera.
I'm handing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 18. Do you recognize that?
I do.
What do you recognize it to be?
This is a copy of my body-worn camera footage. I've initialed and dated, stating that I reviewed and confirmed that.
Just so we're clear, as I pull up this video, on this disc there's 3 clips.
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you please explain to the jurors, was your conversation, was it broken up in parts or was it just one continuous conversation?
It was broken up in parts.
Explain that to the jurors.
There would be points where I may have left the office, exited the interview to either consult with the other detective, where I would have turned off the recording and then turn it back on when I returned to the office. So that would be the breaks in the recordings.
Without getting into anything that she may have said, at some point did you step out and talk to Diana Cojocari?
I did.
And then did you return and talk to the defendant?
I did.
And on this video, the only modifications would be is there's just no audio when you do have discussions with Diana Cojocari, is that correct?
That's correct.
Us.
Oh, you're fine. How you doing? I'm Detective Bradley Nichols. Nice to meet you.
So, you got her personal computer. Her login from the school. So, he said he left on the 23rd, which was the Wednesday. And that you didn't remember seeing her that day.
I know I didn't see you that day, and I don't remember the last time I saw her.
How does she know when you're going from school?
Lately she drives her in and then she takes the school bus home, the school drop off, a half a block away.
Yeah.
And I would usually, kind of know when she's coming home, I would see the school bus there, and see her walking home.
I got you.
Sometimes it is. I work at home 2 days a week, and then I drive to Greensboro. I drive to Greensboro Monday, Tuesday, the rest of the week. I'm trying to work at home.
Okay, does she have any other electronics, like an iPad, anything like that she can communicate on?
No. Not that she has. I mean, there were some, but they were kind of taken away. There was 2 phones and it was an iPad, but she lost it for the longest time. So she hasn't used that probably.
Did she have something like
She doesn't.
last time you saw her?
No, I don't think so. A lot of times she grabbed on this phone and just use it.
Gotcha. Does she have any, like, I had asked this right when I walked in, any friends, family members, anyone
her name is, I don't know any last names. But she was adopted, and they live around here somewhere. It could even be down the street. There was a,
Sorry, what do you say that was?
almost, it could be alien or eight, grandson, probably is eight. Carmen, her name was still with,
Where do you say that was?
I don't know this for sure. I know she went to a birthday party there once. There's one of these, it's before the railroad tracks. We actually looked at some houses back there. The name of it.
Okay.
Another development.
All the,
Politics over there, or, this is big here, right?
okay. It's on the east side of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think that, now where do you all live? Sorry.
We're like a mile away from the police station. Yeah,
Victoria Bay.
Okay. So,
right across from there.
so maybe like, is Heritage Stream, is that?
Pardon me?
Heritage Stream, is that something?
Yeah, we lived there.
Okay, but that's not.
She didn't have a friend there too. Well, she lost contact with her. Her name was Jazz. I don't know Chris.
Yeah. And I apologize, you probably already told Officer Nobles a lot of this stuff, but since noticing the daughter missing, and have you and your wife had any communication about her being gone? Any conversations about where she is? Anything like that?
Yeah, I've asked where she is.
Okay.
She said she didn't know.
Okay, so you've asked her, and I'm assuming she's asked you if you knew where she is that
Yeah,
right?
so reciprocated.
Okay.
Same question.
Um,
But I wasn't told until I spoke with Officer Nobles, that I put together that she was missing. She said something on there in the lobby, and I said, oh,
Yeah, so you didn't know she was missing until like right now.
right.
Where did you think she was this whole time?
I didn't know.
Okay.
Is that? I mean, is it odd the fact that she hasn't been gone this long and you didn't know where she's at?
Kind of putting some things together, her lights been on, and
In her bedroom?
yeah, and I figured she was just in there. She's in her bedroom a lot, playing the computer or whatever. I usually don't bother. Unless we're getting her for dinner or whatever. So, I don't
I'm not available.
get that she's not there. But I haven't been told that by anybody that she's
Medical staff are calling me.
missing. And I followed some of these
That's
things
probably
that
not
are,
really possible again, is there?
like, people snatching up kids and stuff, and it didn't dawn on me until I was just talking with him, could she potentially be a victim of that? I don't know. She's or not.
What conversations have you and your wife had about her in the last few weeks?
I've asked where she's at, and, give a positive answer. She has not told me she's missing.
What has she told you?
I think she said something to the effect of, I don't know where she is, do you know where she is? And I asked, because I get the messages from the school, she's her natural mother, and, you know, we're married, and, so has a little custody of Madalina. So those kind of things I just, you know, she gets the same messages that I do, because I usually ask, do you hear the message? And so I figured she's handling it. And I said something like, is she been, I don't know if I said, has she been going to school or something to that effect, and she said, does the school know where she is? Or something to that effect.
What was the purpose of your trip to Michigan?
We had some clothes and food up there, and then it just fell on Thanksgiving. So she had me go up there and, get all that stuff, so I spent a couple days up there.
Okay. And she wasn't in the car with you, right?
Right.
Okay, we just have to make sure. Okay.
Have there been any conversation about, so did you guys, or did they live up there at some point? Did they stay up with your family at some point?
We were looking at moving up there at one point in time, in the springtime, so we took some food and some clothes up there and stored them in the house. That was the time, I was contracted to a company in Greensboro, and then my duration was up, my contract was up in November. In November, they brought me on direct, so it was a little more stable work situation. So I figured, you know, for not going up there, so when she asked me about to get clothes, I figured, you know, might as well take the opportunity before the snow starts coming.
But had there been any talk about moving back up there or anything like that recently?
Not recently, no. There was a point in time when she was, maybe looking at some schools or whether it was online or, you know, she did take her off trip. And she did look at some schools up there.
Okay, that meaning your wife took a trip, okay.
What did she take a trip up there? It was like to your parents' house?
Yeah.
When did she go up there?
Sorry.
And I'm sorry, Madalina was were you aware of, you know, its truancy issues, other than recently? Has she had issues prior?
Ms. Lampkin left a note about truancy. I didn't know anything about it other than movies. And I looked it up and I looked up the North Carolina because she said something about court truancy or something like that. So I specifically looked that up and it sounded more serious than what I understood it to be in the past.
Right. And was that recent when I guess you got all that?
When I researched that?
No, recently when the truancy stuff.
Dropped off the package.
Okay.
It was a couple of days before that, I got a message from her.
Okay. Prior to that, had there been any behavioral issues with Madalina, any issues at home?
No.
Okay. So nothing that would have.
She's a happy little girl. She just does her horses.
Okay.
Nothing I would suggest, like her wanting to like run away or go to a friend's house, anything like that.
No.
How's her relationship with mom? Are they get along pretty good?
They're like the same person.
Right.
Except, you know,
Yeah. And you and her you and Madalina get along pretty good?
yeah, we do. We actually played some games together, some computer games. She usually has me with it. She has a game called Star Stable as an interactive course game. She usually has me play. I'll play for about 5 minutes and then, that's about it. And we, play hide and seek and chase the cats around the house and stuff like that.
Since noticing that Madalina was gone, I mean, anything that stands out of the house, in her room, anything that's just odd and missing?
Not that I recall.
I mean, did you notice any like clothing missing, shoes? Did you have a bag with her? Anything like that?
I actually looked in the closet the other day and I saw her birthday there. That's when I started putting some things together.
But you said her bag was in the closet?
Yeah, no, wait, that's a racket. That's a racquetball. That's Ben or something. Yeah, so, I don't know what it looks like, but I think her is large, but I think that is easy. Because when I saw what I thought was her book bag, I said to myself, well, if she's going to school, she can do that.
Right.
Okay.
Where's mom? Is mom here?
Yeah, mine was in the
Okay.
Where do you think she is?
We were talking about
Why do I know where she is? You might know where she is. Who knows where she is? If you had to guess, I give you one guess. Where's Madalina right now?
yeah, he might hang out.
I kind of thought there was one place she would usually be hanging out with her.
It was difficult to hear what he said. What was he saying as you stepped out the door of the one place he thought she would be?
I believe he was mentioning a friend's house that she'd be at.
And before I go play the next clip, I just have a few questions on what we just saw there, because I know the audio was a little difficult at times. What was the term that he used about who lived at Victoria Bay? Is he saying she did, he did, we did?
We did.
At about 12:06, and I can go back and play the clip. It's hard to hear because I think Officer Nobles is talking or something like that. I can hear putting things together. If you would please tell me if you hear this.
And where she's at?
Some things together, her lights been on, and
The fact that she has been gone this long and we didn't know where she's at.
kind of putting some things together, her lights been on, and
In her bedroom.
yeah, I figured she was just in there. She's in her bedroom a lot.
Right at the beginning there, what did you understand him to be saying?
He was either saying over the past few weeks or over the past 4 weeks. I couldn't quite tell.
That he's been putting things together?
And he's been putting things together.
And Officer Nichols, when we just stopped that video, you were stepping out to go in the other room to talk to Diana Cojocari.
That's correct.
I'm going to move forward for the purposes of the record. On State's Exhibit 18, it is the video clip labeled 2.
I'm sorry. Hey, Chris, sorry about that, man. We're just trying to piece this together. I'll be completely honest, man. This is just really weird. A lot of this just does not make a lot of sense to me. Just the timeline and everything is really weird. Doesn't make sense. I'm hoping that you can please try to help me as much as possible to figure out where Madalina is. Our biggest concern is making sure she's safe. And I'm not concerned about, the fact that it took a while to report or anything like that. But I've been doing this for a long time.
and there's just a lot of facts with this situation that just are weird and do not make sense. And I'm hoping you can kind of fill in the gaps for me.
Right. Quite honestly, I'm surprised she doesn't come to me and said she was missing.
Yeah.
She's usually got her pretty close by.
Okay. Now, tell me about this whole like burning a couch in the backyard. What was that? Like,
To get cats. Birds jump around and if you it's just this, we don't have a favorite truck. And we just brought it in the backyard to do a little bit of it, and then I chop up the metal, dispose of it.
okay.
That's all that is. We were just, that stuff we were just getting rid of.
Was Madeline at home at that time?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. How long have you and your wife been together?
2016.
Okay. How did y'all meet, if you don't mind me asking? Because she comes from Moldova?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was an agency that set us up. We just communicated.
Yeah, and that's how I gathered a little bit from why I was just trying to make sure I understood that. So she mentioned something about.
I barely heard you say objection.
Yes. So, maybe we heard from him.
Yes. So the objection's overruled. Sure. All right. So the objection's overruled. The state may proceed.
For the purposes of the record, we have paused at 2 minutes and 48 seconds in the video, and I'm pressing play.
Transfer or situation there. I couldn't quite understand. Something about transferring money over for silver.
Communicated.
Yeah, that's how I gathered a little bit from why I was just trying to make sure I understood that. So she mentioned something about transferring money over for silver, and there's this just a kind of a weird situation there. I couldn't quite understand that. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I was doing easy. It was like one of the highest decorated dudes at the highest level. He was in the right spot. And I was listening to a podcast and they introduced him. And I really liked listening to him. And he's more on the spiritual side. And one of the people that, his name is like Jacob, one of the people that he interviews is a silver guy. And with what's going on with the economy, they're saying silver is the safest thing you can get it. So, with not knowing what's coming ahead, I figured, why not get involved in silver? Well, they have a depository, and they're actually a custodian. There's like a company that holds Scott Trust is the name of the company. So there's a depository. Sign this form. Sign it dotted line. I just figured it's an investment.
Right.
And more people read fine print, right?
Right.
Then she started reading the fine print, and she didn't like what she saw. And she saw a custodian, in the event of, you know, my death or whatever, the money, $250,000 goes to the company that is setting all this up.
Right.
So she started doing some research and she didn't like what she saw. So
I think she mentioned something about there was like a name listed on there that she didn't recognize or something, or...
I think the name was, in order to have them with this company, there's two companies, one's a trust company. They purchased the silver, and then this other company, Dr. Kirk Elliott, he holds the silver, so it's kind of like some joint effort. One of the people on that list, I mean, I can get names if you need it. She is like she represents us.
Okay.
And she was saying something about that makes that person in control of us and control of our lives, and, you know, and stuff like that. So,
But I'm assuming that person was probably just assigned to you from the trust company?
yeah, not the trust company, but the silver.
Okay.
So, she didn't like that. And, we asked to have that person removed. First of all, I had put my wife's name down as beneficiary. So then by doing that, she's locked in.
Right.
This trust company holds the original document saying that they are the custodian and this other person is like our representative. So they said if we remove the representative, then you're on your own. You have to deal with the trust company directly. So I said, fine. We said, fine. So we got, but they still hold the original document. No, we're still not.
Right.
That's where this.
Okay. And because of this, she thought, okay, this person has some type of control, but if they do something to us to get the benefit, is that what her whole issue was with it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
It was to say that I can't, I don't know if she said this, but it's hypothetical. It was to say that they can't just hire somebody to knock us off and then give you $250,000.
Right.
And all these accounts, that's how they do business in the meeting.
Yeah.
She didn't actually say that, but that was kind of the direction those questions were going in.
Okay.
So I said, fine. I had purchased it at a higher amount. Did I purchase it? No, I purchased it at a lower amount. Then when we said, all right, we're getting out of this, we're contacting the company, we're dissolving our relationship, all that. The only thing that they hold, and they have to hold it legally, they have to hold a document that has her name on it, because I hate to put her name down there. And it's, they have to hold that document, so her name is locked into that.
Okay.
So we had, you were asking about our names, that was.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask, because I guess there was an argument the night before you went to Michigan about that someone had to do with that whole deal with the. Yeah. So what was the gist of the argument that night? And the only reason I really meant to ask is she mentioned her daughter like kind of left and went to her room because you guys were arguing and that sort of thing. So.
Kind of along the lines, we started to meet down there, and then the silver argument kind of pops up here. And she said, and she does say that you unknowingly unknowingly, you know, didn't realize what you're doing when you put my name down. And I was like, yeah, it's for the benefit of us and you being the beneficiary.
Right. Should something happen to you, she would benefit,
But
right?
she doesn't want any benefits, you know, she's nothing, you know, financially.
Right.
So that's kind of where, to give you a little background on this, so, I actually got out of it and totally lost about $50,000. Because of the exchange rate. Because they were claiming silver was going to go to the moon and this and that, and then started going down because it was going to the stock market.
Right.
And so, but I just said, fine, I don't care about the money. I just want this to be done with and be happy.
Right.
So that's what I did. I chewed on the $50,000 loss, no problem. We're out of it. You know, we are out of it, with the exception of that, the name on it.
Right.
So the silver conversation comes up periodically.
Did she ever mention anything to you about like a couple of her daughters, like I think the Romanian passports went missing or something like that?
Yeah, there have been times, and that's been, so, what's your first name?
Officer. Sorry, mine's Nichols.
Okay. That's where the, you know, that's
Okay, things like that. Okay.
Restate your question, say it again.
No, I was asking about the Romanian passports. Had she said anything about them being missing?
So I was asked.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any idea where they went or anything?
There were speculations of somebody coming in our house and taking them.
Okay. But was there any signs of like forced entry or any other things missing?
We keep our window by the door for the cats to go in and out.
Okay.
So somebody could pull it up and crawl in and get the lock.
Okay.
So then we started putting things in front of the doors.
Okay.
That's what. So her past, and she had it documented with Cornelius Police Department. Her driver's license, her person taken from the car. So I was asked if I took them. I said no, I wouldn't do that. I had no reason to do that. I turned to hold the computer and whatnot. So we filled out the documents again, and I don't think she's got her passport, but she's got all the rest of her documents. Well, yesterday, the crap out of my thumb on the salad, and I ran out and I couldn't find any bandages. She gave me a box of bandages from the cupboard in the kitchen. And I took that upstairs and took care of myself. And then went through it and I found her printer with the one that was missing from it.
It was just in that box.
It was in the box.
Okay.
And I said, I don't want to make it look like I'm holding this or hiding this. I kept it on the desk all day long. And I said, look what I found. The computer, the code. And I said, we have two, right? This is that she had talked months ago about not being able to find her green card. So I want to show to her, prove to her that not hiding anything from her, you know, they found it and gave it to her. I actually saw it, it was on the dresser, as I walked up to come here.
After realizing that Madalina basically you hadn't seen her in a while and that sort of thing, did you think it was very odd that your wife had not said anything or reported her missing or anything like that?
Yeah. I had asked her, for Madalina's, and, she said she didn't know. So, I didn't know what to think about that. She wasn't very forthcoming with, filling me in. I would have thought she would have came to me, unless for some reason she doesn't trust me at this point in time.
When you got back from Michigan, and I guess maybe, did you guys have plans like when you got back but Madalina was not there? Did you ask at some point where she was or? Okay. He's in here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, so he's helping us out. So when you came back, did you immediately notice that, okay, Madalina's not around?
I did immediately notice anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I started putting pieces together.
Okay.
And, but Madalina's light was always on in her room, so I thought she was there.
Okay.
She was just in her room.
In the conversation that you had with your wife about where is Madalina, did you say anything about, asking her, did she hide her or anything like that? Or was there any statement about hiding her between either one of you?
I don't recall that, but I did ask her where she is. And, I never got a straight answer.
Okay. Now, I know you've already asked this by Nichols, but she did not go with you to Michigan, is that correct? Okay. Do you have an idea of where she is right now?
Like I was telling Officer Knowles, the only thing that I could think of is her friend. And it's not that she can contact her, because she doesn't have any way to contact her, but her friend Elena.
Okay.
That we met up with her mom, she's adopted. At the Christmas Cornelius Festival, and we would hang out together.
Okay.
She's gone to a birthday party at her house a couple of times. They've done plays and stuff like that. So
And she lives somewhere nearby on the east side of town, but you don't know.
I don't know exactly where.
Okay. Same age, same grade.
Madalina has brown eyes, correct?
I got some kind of awesome pictures.
Oh, perfect.
So let me ask you this. Do you think your wife knows where she's at and for some reason is not saying?
She pretty tight with her. So, part of me says, yeah. But I just don't know.
And just hypothetical, if your wife, if you believe that your wife possibly does know where she's at, what would be her reasoning behind?
That I don't know. I haven't been able to figure that out. I've talked to her multiple times. I'm not a threat to either one of them. But it feels like I'm kind of like the outsider right now.
Yeah. What, and like I said, I mean, just, you know your wife, you know Madalina way better than I do. Gut instinct, do you think that she's run away? Or do you think mom knows where she's at? Or?
My gut instinct is she's not running away.
Okay.
she was taken. Because the days that I worked at home, I would go out to where the school was, just watch her.
No, you're fine. Do you know of any communication that she's had online with, I mean, have you had any issues with her getting online and talking with people, or?
I have a little bit of games she plays. Since I watched her on the computer, she types so fast. I could never keep up with her. And she's communicating with apparently girls online that do the horse thing as well. Game on Thursday. Interactive. And she knows all of their, and I'm always trying to make sure she doesn't put in her actual name. She doesn't. She knows all the character names, which are, I would assume, are little girls, the most. There were times that I heard some male names on there, and I asked questions about it. So I just don't know. I'm not into that world. I've always had an issue with her doing the online games, situations like this.
Are you aware of any, I mean, does she use Snapchat or Instagram or anything like that that you're aware of?
No, no Facebook, no, she doesn't have any media. Her really only outlet is that game, and she chats. There was a time when she could chat audio-wise, person to person with one of the girls that played the game because they shared game stuff. But it sounded like a girl her own age. All of a sudden the girl said, it's dinner time, my dad's calling me for dinner. But then again, I sometimes wonder about that.
Right.
That could be set up.
But y'all haven't had any issues with her, where you've had to, punish her for online activity or?
There's been times she's been banned from the computer for excessive use. We told her she could play for 2 hours and it ended up being 9.
Just using it too much, pretty much. No, like behavioral issues at home as far as punishing her.
I haven't really noticed her behavior changing. I mean, she's very independent, so she, speaks her mind. She honestly, yeah, nothing. I haven't noticed any behavioral changes. Making sure.
I was asking your wife too. Would you have a problem with us coming and just taking a look at her room and see if anything stands out to us or? Okay.
We have been getting rid of a lot of stuff because old dishes and things like that you asked was missing. So it's hard for me to know because we've just been purging a lot of stuff in the past few weeks. That's really the only thing.
Well, let me touch base with Detective Patterson and with my feelings on as well, and then we may look at just going out to the house and take a look at the bedroom. Do you have any way of figuring out contact info for the Elena or more information about Elena?
I mean, we have This week, what do you want?
Yeah. Big part.
This week, what do you want?
Yeah.
That sounds like, Russian word where it's from.
I'm trying to find one of her friends.
And I really appreciate you helping out and sitting down talking with us.
I do know, there's one of her classmates, her name's Avery, last name. But she was in her classes. She would hang out with her really that far. They never did play games or anything like that.
What types of things are Madeline into, like as far as what hobbies or horses, and mainly that game or like actual horses?
She's into actual horses. She wants one. We got her in excess of 100 little figurine horses. Yes.
Okay. Some big time horses. I know would it be typical for her to leave and just go out, like walk to a friend's house or anything like that, or no?
She would ask us, or I would ask her to come.
Okay.
This new VPN crap,
Mm-hmm.
kicks me out after a certain time. I
Mhm.
don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it shuts something down, so I'm really
And I hate to keep hashing over stuff, but I maybe got a little bit emotional earlier, recalling watching her get off the bus and stuff. And I guess it just thinking of her. Yeah. And maybe thinking of the possibility of somebody in a or something like that. And I think I may have even asked you this already. Gut instinct, what are you thinking as far as where she's at or what's happening?
I don't believe she ran away because she's upset.
Mhm.
Like that. She's a happy little girl.
Mm-hmm.
As long as she has her games.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
You said she's got a friend. They also come to Toyota Drive.
Yes.
How close is she?
Their proximity.
Did they like play a horse game online together by chance?
No, they didn't. That would be Carmen. That's why they got
Do you
one.
think Avery would look home?
Possibly.
Okay. Here, so I can talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I can get that going at some point.
Yeah, that's
You know,
fine.
log in and film it so I can record.
Yeah. And then, like I said, the reason we ask all these questions is because she doesn't have a phone, so it's not like we can try to track her phone. So we're just trying to figure out as much as possible about, what's going on with her friends, anything like that, what she's into, what's going on in the household. Like I said,
I don't think anything would ever be so upsetting to her that she would just want to leave
mhm,
her.
Right.
yeah,
She wouldn't do that without asking me.
mhm, yeah.
She would always ask me to walk her up to there's a hill there, where she plays.
In the town, in the neighborhood there. Yeah, I know which one.
Right across Kitty Corner. So actually, that's where we're looking, we, he mentioned that when he said find her. When I realized that could be the situation.
When you first got here, he said, find her, and you thought, okay, she missed it.
Quite honestly, I thought she was gonna be here,
Okay.
because you guys asked for the laptop. So I thought there was
And knowing that your wife was here, I'm guessing you assumed that Madalina was here as well. Okay. And your wife, did your wife reach out to you and ask you to come here? Okay, and she didn't say anything about,
she said, come to the school with well, first she said, come to the school and talk with a police officer with me. And then I was in the car, and then she called back and she said, bring the laptop and spoke.
and what was your first thought of?
My first thought with the school computer is been at the house for quite some time. Maybe they need to turn it in so we could set up or set up her assignments. That's what I was thinking. With the personal one, I was going, well, maybe, she won't schools, maybe they, we use the personal one in that respect, but
And the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out, and honestly, I can't even really get a good answer from your wife, but is why she tell the school that her daughter's sick or something. That's why she ain't in the school. I'm trying to figure out why only come forward now once the school has reached out and realized that Madalina's missing, and it's not making a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? I can't understand. I mean, I have a 1-year-old son at home, and I can't even fathom if he's out on site for a minute, me not being concerned or trying to figure out where he's at, or.
I think you it's, taking this long.
Yeah.
And that point.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, when she asked me to come to school, I thought they wanted to talk with us about, how we get back into school. How this process works.
Right.
I had no idea it was because she's missing.
Right. And you kind of describing that this whole time, like you would ask your wife where Madalina is, and you would never get like a straight answer. Or
Yeah.
what would she say?
I don't know where she is. So somebody did that, but she was.
Do you think she's afraid to say, or do you? Because you know her way better than I do. I don't know her, but
Maybe there's, she's not going to but I don't know about respect. Because she's very protective. My friend the other day, he's the third call that they get from Madalina. And he said something to that nature. Because I guess it's not just
Do you think your wife would ever do anything to harm Madalina? Okay. Would it be, I mean, is it out of character for her, you know, if something is concerning as far as her daughter being missing, is it out of character for her not immediately tell you, I don't know where Madalina is?
I think, she would say something, you know, to the fact that I'm handling that. I think, you know, she's in control of that situation. So a lot of times it's the context, it doesn't matter. Meaning that, you know,
Handling it, or it's not a concern, or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure you can understand how I'm just really just baffled that she's been gone this, our 12-year-old's been gone this long.
I'm surprised they haven't heard about it sooner.
I'm very surprised that a 12-year-old can be missing since Thanksgiving, and the mother just informed the school today and us today. And for whatever reason, she hasn't really even communicated that to her husband, or there hasn't even been a real conversation about where is our daughter. So it's just very concerning to me. I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. My biggest concern is her safety. Like I honestly, I don't care the fact that it's taken this long to report it. I'm not trying to get mom in trouble or you in trouble or anything. I just want to know where she is and that she's safe.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a normal thing. It was kind of okay when he said it, but when he said, find her, and then he walks away and I'm like, how did she miss it? And then all pieces sort of dropped in. The pieces that I could put together.
Does your wife have any friends around here that she ended up with? I'm sure she doesn't have family as far as like blood family around here.
She has a cousin in Florida, but
So does she speak with the cousin regularly, or?
not a lot. Because they're always busy, he's a trucker. But she speaks with her parents, she Skypes with her parents like almost every day.
And they're in Moldova? Okay.
Just so you know, we don't want the building, so it's good for that.
She's coming in.
Thank you.
I mean, I know you mentioned the kind of the little arguments that you had with your wife and so that sort of thing. I mean, was there ever any indication that maybe your wife was going to try to leave or anything like that, or that she wanted to separate, or?
No, not separate. And I mean, the other day,
she be referencing when she said that? Meaning, had she been thinking about going somewhere, or?
Well, she talked about going back to Oklahoma to see family and stuff. It was a breakfast for that, but good thing with what's going on in the what she said last I don't know if she has her passport. I don't, because we ordered to do it, we got to go back and see it.
Have you ever talked with your wife's parents as far as, I mean, would you know how to contact them?
No, that's the thing, her dad speaks, they all speak Russian, and her dad speaks French. When I was over there, it was, all about and stuff. He tried to speak English, I tried to speak Russian. So it's not even like I can even talk. Now, she has a sister who's a singer. She's kind of like when Diana's not around, she's like my interpreter around there.
So she lives in Moldova?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her cousin and his wife, his English is choppy, but you can get through a conversation with just a minute.
Your wife, does your wife work anywhere?
No, she stays at home.
Okay. How would she pay for things? I understand she has a debit card or a credit card. Okay. And I'm assuming Madalina doesn't have like a debit card or anything like that.
I don't know that she would know how to use it, but she's a smart girl and she can figure out what she.
You don't think she would try to make any attempt to go back to Moldova or anything, would you?
I don't think online or could travel.
Yeah, probably not.
And she doesn't speak the language, so
Yeah.
she was understanding Romanian and responding in English when they first got here, but it was confusing to her. She just wanted to do the language and something here. She just concentrated on it.
You don't happen to know like passcode for Madalina's personal laptop or anything like that?
Yeah, I set it up.
You set it up, okay. Would it be odd for her if she is going somewhere or going somewhere to stay the night or anything? Would it be odd for her to leave her laptop? Or does she take that usually if she goes somewhere?
I think she would take it if we let her.
Okay.
So she's taken it on trips before. Before her road is working.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I need to explain the report process to him or her.
I have
Detective Nobles, there at the end of that conversation, what did he say that Diana Cojocari did for work, his wife?
She does not work, she's at home.
How did he explain that they would give money?
They have a joint bank account, and his wife has a debit card for that account.
And did he indicate that Madalina had a card for that account?
No, she does not.
Because she wouldn't know how to use one.
No, she wouldn't.
Detective Nichols, how long were you up there at the school?
I believe probably estimated at least 2 hours.
At any point in time, did the defendant ever ask or plead with you for help in finding his stepdaughter?
No, he did not.